What's up, you guys? My name is Mehdi.
And I'm Ramsey.
And this is what they won't say.
Bitch.
Nope. No, come on.
I had to do
come
it.
on.
We have a tradition. I'm sorry.
I know, but this week I thought we were growing as humans.
You thought we were classing it up? Sorry, guys.
I thought we were growing as humans. I thought we were going to be better individuals, but here we are.
We're working on it.
Week by week.
I feel like we're getting there.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. That's crazy, isn't it?
Episode 5 and a mental health check.
Mental health check.
I know you like this button.
Turn it up. They need
Oh,
to
you
hear
want it higher?
They need to hear it.
All right.
Hey. All right. And let's get into mental health check. This week,
Mental health check. Tell me.
let's say physically, 10. Started boxing.
Oh,
Heavily suggest to everyone watching, box.
really?
Best cardio I've ever had.
Okay.
I love the fight sport in general, UFC, MMA, boxing. I'm a fan. And I think it's great to learn new things and get better.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
10. Emotionally, I'm at a 10. Things are good. I feel good. Love the podcast. Love what we're doing. Work's going well. Great week. Mentally, I know last week I said you're never really at a 10.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I said we're never really at a 10. I'd say I'm at like a 9.5 this week.
Okay.
Like it really was just a smooth week.
I like it. Last week, I think last week you said you were at a 10, but I'll have to rewatch that
No,
episode.
I'd never said I'm at a 10.
We'll watch it tomorrow. Tomorrow, as in it premieres every Sunday, and tomorrow is Sunday.
Tomorrow, 4 p.m., please. Tune in. Like
Well,
and subscribe.
this episode airs.
It's 4 p.m. on a Sunday, regardless what episode it is.
That's true.
4 p.m. Sunday, log in, watch, comment.
Like, comment, subscribe. What you'd like to see on future episodes.
Facts.
What
What about you?
Mental health. I am excellent. This week was very long. It was long and
traveled
drawn
for
out.
work.
I did. I traveled for work. I am back, and I would still put myself at a 9.
Good.
It's very long and drawn out, but I'm at such a good place in life. I feel like I've looked so deep into myself to find pieces that I needed to fix, things I needed to enhance, and what was missing.
Yeah.
And I'm filling all of those boxes
100%.
with checks, and I'm like, wow, I can do
I'm
it.
doing
I'm a
it.
real boy. You know?
Last week, we released an episode that was heavily concentrated on your life. Do you feel like you coming out and putting it out there of what you were struggling with the mental health and with feeling behind helped? Do you think that maybe
Absolutely.
that's why you're on a little bit of a high? Like you
Absolutely.
you let
I
it
mean,
off
the
your
show
chest.
in general has kept me at a high because I feel like everyone's story has kind of come together to paint an image that I was never really alone in any of the problems that
Nice.
I've been in, right? But putting that out there, that specific episode, very hesitant. I texted you a
remember.
million times
Yeah.
saying, hey, I don't think we should put this out there.
Great episode.
And you
though.
said, put it out.
It's a great one. Even if the episode was horrible, as a friend, I knew what it would do for you because
Yeah.
it did it for me. I was excited for you to feel that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it like I'm not here to push anyone to discuss their mental health of their life when they're not ready to. But when you are, I really think it's the most empowering step you could take.
Absolutely, and it was very empowering in that moment, and it shows me that there are no limits or no bounds to your growth.
Oh, I agree.
And I feel like you are no stranger to boundaries, to growth, to success, whether it be discussed or something that's done behind the scenes. I feel like you are no stranger to that because you, serial entrepreneur?
Let's just say yes.
Okay. Because I feel like that's an appropriate term.
It is.
Right?
Because I don't fit a single category.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And just before the show, I was trying to analyze what would I be,
Yeah.
because we've discussed what we wanted to discuss. But serial entrepreneur is what I would categorize you as.
Yeah.
And so you're no stranger to these limiting beliefs.
I agree, especially in our community.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because I've now, just to clarify, I've re-registered in schoa at 31 to finish my undergrad of the years I'd started
Proud of
prior. Thank you. I start next week. No big deal. Shout out U of M Dearborn. I wanted to get my feet wet and start working. And luckily, through my family's businesses, I had to start, and then from there, kind of flourished into my own. But there was and is a hurdle that you don't expect.
Absolutely.
Right? And everyone is on your side, surprisingly, in this situation when you're not doing shit. When you're trying to figure it out, everyone's your best friend.
Right. Or knocking you down.
At the time, but when you're already down,
yeah,
not necessarily.
Right.
Oh, you'll get it. No. They seem like your biggest fans. Once you start to really get the grasp on life and business and start putting it together, people start looking at you different.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wish I could say I act different. I wish you could say I became cockier. Let's be honest. I've been that guy my whole life.
Been that way.
I've been, nothing's changed.
I've been real.
I had nothing and I was the cockiest guy you met. I'm not suddenly becoming more. But people feel threatened of success.
Right.
And that's been something, and I'm not sitting here saying I'm the most successful, but I'm not. There's a 9,000 levels of success I still want to get to. But I've learned a lot about people through my experiences. Now, when you start to get it together, there's two people. They either level up to match your energy, which are who've become my best friends, and then they're the people that start to look at you differently for it.
Because there's the high side of success, your personal own.
Sure.
And then there's the dark side of success, the ones we don't see, the hidden dark side.
Absolutely.
The people you deal with, the friends you surround yourself with, and the downfalls of success, because not every successful person is going to jump into a business plan and say, look at me, I'm already doing great.
100%.
They may jump into a business plan and fail.
Facts. I've failed.
I know.
100 times.
And then they reach the level, they near the level of success that they were reaching for.
Yep.
And people think it was overnight. But you have no idea. No idea how often that person stayed up, how many hours they worked, how long they worked.
Facts.
Before they reached that level of success, right?
Absolutely.
And you know that firsthand.
And so the best thing I could say is to try to give it some clarity. You've been working on the show for a year and a half.
Right.
You've been working on Mehdi for 30 plus years.
Absolutely.
Let's just say...
No need to put a number on it.
I apologize.
That's
I didn't mean to date you. Let's just say, starting next week, hypothetically, the show blows up. You're doing 1 million views an episode. You've now made it. Everyone is going to say you made it
overnight.
Right. Oh, you got lucky.
To whose measure?
Let me ask you a question.
I got lucky to whose measure?
Did you get lucky?
Did I get lucky?
You tried. I just told you I tried 100 times and failed. You've probably at some point tried 100 times and failed on 100 different things.
Absolutely.
There's no one that's successful gets successful overnight. You catch a break, right? You catch a break. For instance, any rapper, any musician, any entertainer will tell you there was that one break that they caught. And everyone's like, oh, they got so lucky in that break. 100% they definitely did. But you don't see the 956 tries that they made prior that they got shot down at.
Right. Absolutely. There's a Confucius saying that our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall.
Absolutely.
So we know that successful people are successful, but do we know their failings? Do we know their shortcomings? Do we know what happened to them before they got there? We have no idea.
You only know the
success. As your friend,
yes,
I know where you are.
Yep.
I know a little bit of what came before it.
Yep.
But I have no idea.
Well, there was nights I'd stay up, wake up at 2 a.m, and I'd stay up, half tears in my eyes, wondering how I'm going to make this work.
What am I going to do?
How am I going to make I chose this path against my family's wishes, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to my family.
Right.
Go to school, get a job, work your life. I said, that's not for me.
Right.
Okay, figure it out. And I would sit there all night wondering how I'm going to make this work. No one in the world is going to have been there for that moment.
Right.
So when you see the end result, I'll be honest, my personal reaction, because I'm a little bit more aggressive than I should be, is kiss my ass.
Right.
It wasn't overnight.
Right.
So, like, I have an issue with people / just specifically to our community that disregard people's success as to luck or as to some obscure reason that they can't achieve it.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy did it because I know he sold drugs at some point.
Absolutely.
Oh, I know that guy did it because his dad put him on. Sure, his dad may have put him on. But he did something for the 20 years after
to
succeed.
So when people are saying like, What's a really good example here? The whole Kylie Jenner situation.
Sure.
She's not self-made. She's
Stop
this,
it.
she's that.
Stop it.
If every one of them could have become a billionaire, they all would have done it.
Even, how about this?
I don't care who put you on.
100%.
All that money. Right.
So even if you don't use the term billionaire, because I feel like that's just a crazy standard.
It's a nice number.
It's a great
number. Yeah, it's a really number.
But even just like the level of success that they've reached.
Yeah.
Do you understand the sacrifice that comes with it? So let me ask you this. Why did every guy in that family lose their minds? Everyone talks to me thinking I'm going to shade the Kardashians because I just seem like that type.
Right.
Yo, I respect the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Everything they do, everything, from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep, is revolved around their brand. It's calculated around their brand and their business.
Yeah, absolutely.
They eat salads. They work out. I don't care if it's plastic surgery. Even with plastic surgery, there's work
you
that needs
to
to be put in to maintain
right.
it. Everything is about their brand. They give up their personal lives. They give up their private lives. I can't, like in Dearborn, bro, when I go to Target, I put my hood up because I just don't feel like seeing people I know.
Right.
That's a small town.
Right.
Imagine in the world a Justin Bieber. You can't go to a movie theater. You can't go to a restaurant.
Absolutely not.
You could say they're making money for it, but at any point they could walk away, give up, and say it's not worth it. I want to be somewhat normal.
Right.
They don't. That's dedication. Greatness is not a mistake.
Absolutely not.
Elon Musk, billionaire. I think the smartest man in our world. Goes to sleep in his office.
A little crazy.
He's crazy. You have so. Have you ever heard the line between genius is crazy is this small?
Oh, very thin.
He literally sleeps in his office as a billionaire getting work done.
Yeah.
It's not an accident. Diddy, I told you the story before. Puff was 18, would run to the CEO of the record label he worked for. He said, hey, I need this couried to another record label to sign, and came back.
By a courier.
He said, nah, I'm going to run it over there.
Yeah.
He took the paper, ran 3 miles to the next record label, gave it to the other CEO, said, I need you to sign this, ran back on foot, gave it to his boss and said, okay, he's an intern, unpaid at 18, and said, okay, what's next?
Wow.
Is it a surprise that that guy is now a billionaire?
Right.
Is it he got lucky that he had big? Bro, that guy could have been a painter.
Absolutely.
And he would have been a millionaire. He could have, whatever he chose to do with that attitude, he would have succeeded.
He knew what he wanted. He went out and got it.
I'm finding a way. And I feel like we get so into the habit of tearing people down and discrediting people's like successes.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
We get so used to, in any community, I don't want to limit it to ours because I don't think it's just our community.
It's not.
We do it a lot.
We do.
But instead of tearing someone down, ask them to teach you.
Absolutely.
Ask them for advice. Ask them to help you transcend into the level and level and level that you want to reach until you're there.
Thanks.
And even then, that's still your ally. Just because I open the same type of business you own up 5 miles away between Dearborn and Dearborn Heights.
Sure.
Doesn't mean I'm competing with you. I just thought your idea was great, and I thought the city needed it.
Facts.
Why compete? Let me ask you for advice. Why don't you come ask me for advice? Maybe we can help each other transcend, help each other grow.
Yep.
So that we are no longer competing. We are not harming each other by opening the same similar type of business. I may be doing something different than you are, and you need to learn.
Yep.
Or you may be doing something different than I am, and I need to learn. How else do people grow besides learning?
100%. There's people. I don't even want to put learning as one-sided. If you open the same business that I have, I'm still going to learn something from you.
Absolutely.
And if I don't, I'm fucking up.
Right.
Even if you had very little experience in whatever business, there's something you're going to do that's different. I should, not hatefully, keep an eye out and have that open conversation.
Learn.
We live in a country with 336-ish million people. There's plenty of opportunity to go around. That's why everyone comes to America.
Absolutely.
So if you open the same business, if one of our friends hit us up and said, hey, I'm trying to start a podcast, I promise you, me personally, I can't speak on anyone else, would help them. I hope you succeed.
Yeah.
Even if this doesn't succeed and they do, I'm not mad. They did something properly.
Me neither. But I also think it's kind of, I don't want to say it was the way you were raised. Because I was not raised in an environment where I was taught, I don't think you're taught jealousy.
I agree with that.
But you're taught some sort of envy.
Sure.
I was raised in an environment where envy and jealousy were a huge no.
Yeah.
my parents raised me in a way where if I saw something and liked it, because I was raised poor.
Yeah.
If I saw something and wanted it and said it, that was a problem.
Yeah.
It's you don't need what other people have.
The same.
You need what we give you.
Facts.
Right?
Be comfortable with who you are.
Absolutely.
And I didn't know this till just now. I feel like we were raised similarly.
Yeah.
My dad did what he did, moved to this country, created a life for himself. Of course, there are people that have done better than him. And of course, I don't want to say better. Of course, there are people that have acquired more than him. And of course, there are people that have acquired less than him.
Absolutely.
But he said, who I am, this is what I've done. And to his credit, the guy's done great.
Absolutely.
So, like, why would you want to envy someone else? You've succeeded.
Absolutely.
There's, like, I don't care if you're a billionaire. There's going to be someone who's got $1 billion and one.
And one, right.
So, like, why is someone else's success your standard of measure?
Right.
Also, they might have $10 million. They might be miserable. Would I rather have $1 million and be completely happy with who I am? Like, there's so many factors.
So many factors of the success in general.
Someone else's success does not dictate my happiness.
Absolutely.
Or my appreciation or thought of them.
But the problems come in when you become successful or when you do something. Let's not say successful. Let's say you do something right.
Yes.
There are people who surround you, even your friends. So I had a friend in the past who was in silent competition with all of his friends.
Yeah.
But why?
That's toxic.
Why? Let's elevate each other. You succeed, I succeed.
Yep.
I help you with something, you help me with something. We all need to get to those levels.
Yep.
And there's plenty of room for all of us at the top.
100%.
If there are a list of billionaires that comes out on Forbes list every year,
Yep.
there's room enough for us on every other list.
100%.
Right? So if I'm successful, doesn't mean you're not going to be.
Facts.
But why the silent competition? Ask
100%.
me to help you with what I'm good at, as I've asked you to help me with what you're good at.
I agree.
Thankfully, I'm no longer in those kinds of friendships. But the silent competition is what hurts the most.
Because it's...
Those people are out to get you, bro.
They're out to get you. Let me ask something. When you first discussed the concept of this podcast with me, it was not under the premise that I was going to walk on and be doing it with you.
I think it was a week before I started.
So was there ever a time when you talked to me about it that it was like, I'm going to do this with you? It was love for you as my friend.
No,
I hope you
I
made
think what the
100
conversations literally was, you're onto something. I think you need to get it moving.
Yes. It was like you told me the idea, the concept, the name, and I was like, this is something this community needs, this world needs. How can we get it to happen? And then when there was a plateau of momentum, I was like, how can I,
Help you.
push him into the next gear? Because I know business. I know
you said it, right? Because I don't think I have the entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
I'm not there. Mentally, I'm a creative.
You're an artist.
I'm a creative. This actually happened. I was in a gas station parking lot, and we were discussing this, and you said, well, what have you done? And I said, well, nothing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
So you said, I'm going to hold you accountable. Let me hold you accountable.
Yeah.
I said, deal. Hold me accountable.
And I gave you a timeline.
Hold me, yep.
And at this point, I had nothing.
It was very
to do
limited.
With it.
It was a very limited.
I was a little bit rougher than maybe I should have been. But it was, what am I going to do, fight you?
Right.
That wasn't the intent. The intent was my friend has an idea that I think has the potential to be great. Whatever it takes. Yeah. Even if our friendship was somewhat hindered. If me and you stopped talking because I was too hard. Yeah. And I wasn't that. Like, I wasn't actually disrespectful. No. But even if it rubbed you the wrong way, and at some point we stopped talking, and your show propelled, I would have said, wow.
He did it.
I would have been so happy. Right. I have friends that I don't talk to this day that have succeeded.
Me too, bro.
I can't explain how happy I am.
But not everybody's like that.
Most people, I don't want to say most. I feel like that's a general.
That is very general, yeah.
But like enough people are not like that.
There are enough people who are like that we all know them. Yeah. We all have those people who are around us who want you to do better, but never better than them.
Yeah. Do better than what you're doing, but don't catch up to me.
Right.
100%.
Right.
And those I feel like are the most. So this is going to sound crazy, but to me, a one major thing when I'm talking to a friend, pronoun usage to me is so indicative of who a person is. And I know this sounds nuts, but
pronoun usage is in
the sense of my best friend moved to California. My best friend moved to California, started his life brand new. He started to succeed.
Okay.
Hit me up. He was getting a nice car. He called me. He said, "Hey, Rams, we just got the car." Because it was in the middle of is he going to get it? Is he not? And he said, "Rams, we got it. We got it." I'm that type where I use "we" a lot.
So I have actually, and I don't know if you've noticed during the show, I've multiple times caught myself saying I don't know if you've caught it.
I think maybe once.
Okay, so I've said it actually multiple times.
But it started as just you.
The idea.
Sure.
But you've contributed to.
But you corrected it and said we.
Every time I said I said we. And it's not just, and then there's the behind the scenes. Yep. So it's not just me and you, right?
Exactly.
So then there's Dina involved.
Yeah.
And Dina is contributing to the show.
100%.
So it's no longer, so the selfish term of I was actually raised with that. Yep. My father is a we person.
Yes.
My mother is a we person.
Yep.
So whenever I said I or you, then it's no longer my father would refer to it as a family unit.
Yeah.
We are now doing everything individualized.
Failure.
Whereas if it's a we,
yep.
if I had shortcomings, you could stronghold.
100%.
Or if you had shortcomings, I could stronghold. Or where Dina's counting our timer down, looking at it as we speak, where we may fall short on time, she will catch us up.
That's the beauty of we.
But as a community, we don't see it that way. We see it as he's doing what I'm doing. He opened up a similar shop that I opened up. I'm in one city and he's in one city.
Same.
That's not a competition.
100%.
That is not a competition. You're in one city, 5 to 10 miles away.
Yep.
He's 5 to 10 miles away. Where's the competition?
I agree.
Let him get the business you're not getting. You get the business you are getting,
and work together to make it better.
Help each other.
So like we grew up, our generation, vastly in the city off the gas stations. Mm-hmm. Everyone at some point worked at a gas station, had a gas station, family had a gas. We all had it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, there's enough gas stations where outside the guy directly across the street from me, mm-hmm. everyone that I don't want to say everyone I know, enough people I know have gas stations in different cities around the state.
Everywhere.
My father's generation will not call a friend and really discuss, unless they're like very, very close, intricacies of their business, how to make it better, what's happening.
Okay.
The next generation, my dad's friends who've taken over their dad's businesses, me who've taken over mine, have that conversation fairly often.
Really?
Hey, we need workers. Are you running into this issue? Yeah, what did you do about it? Yo, did you hear about the new law that just passed? There's a much more cohesive sentiment now to the business side. I think we're all going to be better for
a community unit.
So there's a way to do things properly. Hey, I'm going to learn some things from this guy. I can teach him some things. We can learn to make some money.
Right. Let me teach you what I did.
That's it.
You teach me what you did here.
Does your car need gas? Yes. Do I live in a different city than you? Yes. Do we go to different gas stations? 100%.
Absolutely.
If we can own different stores, God knows where, and make money together, to me, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to do that. I'm not threatened by someone who does better.
Absolutely.
I couldn't be happier.
Absolutely.
So, but for me, I feel like if you give that energy, you'll also receive it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, okay, let me ask you this.
Because can you live forever with a chip on your shoulder?
No. It gets exhausting.
Get rid of that chip, bro.
So here's when I first noticed it. All our generation is starting to elevate, start their own businesses, figure out their lives, which I love. How are we doing on time? We got a few. I wasn't checking myself out, by the way.
You were.
I was not. I looked straight up. All right. So, the first time I noticed it is any of my friends that would open businesses, and I swear, ask any of them, I would walk in and support.
Yeah.
Always. Any business.
I'm sorry. On the statement of support.
Yeah.
Don't ask people to support you if you can't support other businesses.
So that's honestly where I was going with it.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, because I want your interjection. That is probably, I'm not angry, and I'm not talking about this specifically, because the feedback we've gotten has been amazing.
Yeah.
But I know the people who I've supported sometimes that wouldn't or haven't supported me back. I don't care on what premise. I don't care what venture there is.
Don't support me, though.
If I know Mehdi Wint opened a laptop store, I'm going to go fix my laptop at your store.
Right.
I'm going to go buy a laptop.
Whatever it costs.
That's my friend. And I'm not asking for a discount.
Absolutely.
Charge me what you would charge anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to support you.
Absolutely.
Flip it the other way. Sometimes they don't come. Sometimes if they do come, they want a discount.
Yeah.
And sometimes if they do come, they have a 912 things that went wrong that they want to tell you and complain about, that they wouldn't do it anywhere else.
And I wish that's where it was stopped. So there are people who are very open about people not supporting them enough.
Yep.
Their own friends not supporting them enough.
Sure.
But why do you hate when somebody else is doing something? Why do you not support them?
100%.
So if for example, let's use the podcast as a directive, not because my friends have not been supportive. They've been very supportive. But this specific person, I have driven to this person's business to support his business, although there is one thought 2 minutes away.
Facts.
I drove to your business and to support it because you continuously say, my friends are not supporting me.
Yep.
When I put the show out, I heard
nothing.
Zero.
And by the way, because I know Mahdi's stayed on this, we are not saying if we've supported you, you have to support us.
Oh, don't.
We're using this
at this point. Don't.
We're using this as an example.
It's the only example I know.
Because this is what we have.
It's the only example I know.
But it's. I know so many people watching this.
But support
have
it.
That.
But support it.
Yeah.
It's not a tit for tat. Don't just because I supported you, you want to support me. Watch it. You like it, support it.
And it's free.
Right.
Okay, now I'm getting into us. I apologize.
But I've paid.
It's free.
Right.
Just go to YouTube, subscribe to us. Not that hard. But do you get it? Like that.
Yeah.
So there are people I haven't talked to in 10 years. When I found out they opened a business, I go.
Right.
Sometimes I don't tell them. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll send them a picture. Yo, I want you to know I'm showing love.
Right.
I'll post it on my story.
Right.
I'll do it out of love.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying do it for me back out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine.
Right.
But why don't you have it?
Right. Right.
Why don't you want to show that same love that so many people
that I've shown
have
you?
Showed you.
Right.
Exactly.
Forget other people. But as a friend, I have supported you.
Yeah.
Not tit for tat. But look out for me like I've looked out for you.
I agree.
I've supported your business
That's
and
the
your
hater.
endeavors.
That's the hater.
Support me in my endeavors. And it's minimal.
Yep.
And I'm really not trying to talk about the show because the show has gotten so much support.
I agree.
Repost it. It's an arrow and a post.
How many people so I will tell you, how many people have reposted? I think me and you have a handful of people that are super close that have shown love.
All the time.
Really?
All the time.
We got a minute.
All the time. My friends?
Yeah. So
every single one of my close friends repost. Close friends.
So mine's close
distant friends that I have supported.
Yeah. That's what I was getting.
Nothing.
I've shown so much love on my Instagram about businesses that I love. And again, I'm not asking for you to post my shit. I don't care.
Don't post it now.
Please don't post it.
Because now I'm talking about it.
But now we're talking about the mentality of how toxic it can get and why you don't love people and why you don't want to see people succeed as much. And we're back.
We are back.
All
right. So we went off on a tangent.
We did, per usual.
Now you're always going to have hate. You're always going to have people who are coming for your success and seeing your success as intimidating.
Yep.
How do you, Ramsey, alleviate or remedy people who are in your life but also are not happy about the success that you've attained as friends?
As in they're not supporting?
Not
or they're
supporting, not happy for you?
If they're not happy, I feel like that's not a real friend. That's enough for me.
Okay.
Everyone that's around me now at 31 is genuinely not only is supportive, like pushes me to do things that I said I was going to do.
Do better.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But if there's someone that is super close to me that I need more from, I'll communicate it. Where in the past I wouldn't have.
Really?
Yeah. But I feel like you need to. And there's times between us where you're like, Rams, I need more of this from you. Or to you and your friends, when I was in front of you, I need more of this.
Sure.
And then either they act on it, or then you could be like, that's not it.
That's where my personality lies.
Really?
My personality lies in that if you are not going to be supportive at my grown-ass age, I do not have time to sit and remedy how you feel. I don't have time to pacify you. I don't have children.
Yeah.
I don't need to medicate or pacify how you are feeling about my success. Either ask me to help you elevate.
Yep.
Ask me to help you grow, transcend yourself, or get out.
Do you think that
there's no place for you here?
So as much as I want to kind of give a rebuttal, I don't think I can.
Bro,
I think we may be in agreement on that one.
There is a place at my table.
Yeah.
But if you are Judas,
yeah, dip,
get off my table.
Dip.
I would love to see you eat, as the quote goes.
And I feel like we're both like that.
Just not with me.
And I feel like that's why when we don't get that back from our friend group or from someone directly in our circle or at our table, I think we both feel a certain type of way. But regardless, I feel like who you surround yourself with as a person, and I don't think, Maddie just said cut them out. And I feel like a lot of people might think that's wrong or toxic. Mm-hmm. It's not. And
as you grow is when you realize that when I was younger, I was, oh, you're toxic.
You're my friend.
Stay around longer.
That's it.
Right. At this grown age,
you are, remember when everyone would say you are the sum of your 5 closest friends?
Absolutely.
I used to think that was crazy.
It's not.
It's
not.
If your friends are degenerates,
you're
gonna. So like, my friends are successful degenerates.
Yeah.
I'm a degenerate.
Right.
It's just who we are. You know what I mean? So like, find those 5, find those 6, find those. Be honest, it's not really many more than 6. If you got more than 6, you got to rethink some shit.
Right.
But find those main 5 or 6, and that is your standard.
And that's not to say that every friend is going to contribute to your growth, because you need friends for certain parts of your life. So you need friends for this outlet and this outlet and 100%. That outlet. So not every friend is going to contribute to my growth.
That's a great point, and I'm glad you said that.
But the friends that are contributing to my growth are near and dear.
Yes.
And I need you. Like I need my success.
Yeah.
I need you for my success.
Yep.
Because for me to elevate to those levels, like I said earlier, I'm more artistic in my approaches to anything.
Sure.
And so I need somebody to say, this is the business matter though.
Yeah.
So while I can come up with the artistic stuff,
the content,
I need you specifically, for example,
in our situation,
in this show.
Yeah.
To be like, well, what about this? What about that? What haven't we thought of?
But it only works because you were open to hear it.
Right.
If you're so closed off to criticism or so closed off to advice that you're willing to turn someone away, even though you know that they might have more knowledge about it or could be better suited for it, you've lost.
Well, you're not looking, and if you're good at identifying people and identifying their motives, you're not looking to tear me down.
I would never.
It hasn't been that way. It's never been that way. And as a friend, I can
personally
look at you and say, he's not looking to tear me down. He doesn't care.
Yep. I have no involvement at this point.
He wants to see me do good.
With or without me.
Which is good for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
but people don't see that.
In an opportunistic fashion, I would look at it and say, well, this is the friend that needs to be closer.
Yeah.
Because while I have friends who do encourage me, can any of them hold me accountable? No. Who can bring them closer? Let me hear this person better.
Yeah.
By tuning these other noises out.
So the flip side to that is that there is just as much of a toxicity to yes men.
Oh, sure.
So once you start to make it, there are people who will ride you in the sense of they'll agree with everything you say. Yeah, they'll ride your coattails. They'll want to be involved. They didn't want to be involved when you were struggling.
But the success.
Now all of a sudden you start to get a little bit of momentum. You're starting to do well. And I'm not talking about the show. In life, we both have careers outside of the show.
Sure.
You'll start to see people start to like, hey, I can do this with you. I could do this with you. Let me try to do this. And it's at that point where you start to realize that was never my real friend.
Right. So because
my real friends wanted to be a part of it when I started.
For sure.
I loved your idea when I had nothing to do with it. I was like, this is amazing. Whether it does nothing or everything.
There's that famous quote, and I don't know who said it, that you want to find somebody who's going to ride the bus with you when the limo gives out.
Facts.
And those are the friends that I want around. I don't want somebody to look at me or you and say, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it. How long can I ride what he's giving me?
Yeah. And it is subconscious.
And tap out when there's nothing there.
I don't think these people are consciously saying it. But I mean, if you are, you're a certain type of evil. But I think a lot of people do it subconsciously. I look at people that are like, they don't realize they're doing it.
Right.
But they are looking out for their own self-interest.
Sure.
But if I'm aware of it, you should be.
Sure.
That's enough for me. I'm not here to feed someone else's kids.
Sure.
I'd love to. I give game to everybody.
Yeah.
When I started to do different things, I called my close friends. I said, let me show you what I've been doing. Let me try to put you on. Let me show you if this can benefit you. Some said yes, some said no. Whether you do or not, I don't give a shit.
Well, that comes on the note of there is plenty of room at the top for all of us.
But how many people put you on? How many people said, let me show you the podcast? How many people said, let me show you a new side of business?
Honestly, I'm going to give it to one person that I actually reached out. He just gave me a piece of advice.
One person.
I asked one person, and he gave me a piece of advice, and he's on a podcast now that I watch. And he's funny himself.
Yeah.
But he gave me pieces of advice just from the few messages we had exchanged. And I mean, I don't think I reached out to that many people, but at the same time, I think a lot of people were just not into it. They were not supportive. They were not, let me help you with this, let me help you with that. I think the only few people are in this room at this time.
I agree.
You know?
And that's the disheartening side of a new venture.
I had a friend who literally told me the show's not going to do good.
Stop.
Swear to God. No longer my friend.
So I can understand criticism. I can understand getting people prepared for a difficult path. But telling someone not to do it out of fear, and that is what it's out of. That is what it's out of. It's out of fear.
Keep in mind, it's the same person who I was saying is in silent competition with everyone. Is the same person who told me the show is not going to do good.
Because they'll never risk everything on hoping something goes big.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to business.
Here we are.
Whether it's your money, whether it's your time, whether it's whatever, you invest it all in hoping that it pops.
Right.
Which is a very difficult thing. And for you, as a self-proclaimed non-business person, you probably had issue with, can I invest this much time?
Yeah.
Can I be this committed? Can I put in this much money to make this work? This is a beautiful set.
Yeah.
This doesn't come accidentally. It is overwhelming to a normal person. Business is not you invest and it works. Business is you invest, you put in time, you work your ass off, you go through the shittiest moments in your life, and then at some point, it starts to give you something back.
Right.
Most people won't be there for the first 90%.
Right.
Have you ever seen the glacier analogy? People see
the
success
underneath
of a glacier, and 90% of it is a work that no one else will notice or attribute to.
No, they have no idea. They have no idea. Because people see an episode, for example, the show specifically, people see an episode and they're like, wow, episode, great.
Yeah.
They have no idea that
the work that goes into it.
Hours behind.
Facts.
Hours behind every episode.
After editing, the discussion after, how do we make it better? What's next? Who do we bring
What do we cut out? What do we do?
It's a lot. I agree.
And there are emotions. But in everything, there are emotions. There are sacrifices. And if you find those people who are willing to sacrifice with you,
you got a team.
There you go.
It's we.
It's we. Never I.
I'm a we guy.
There we go.
We're a fucking we.
It's a we, never an I.
I swore, God damn it.
Which we will eventually get to, probably on like episode 30 or something, I would imagine.
Oh, what?
You know, no swearing.
Once we're not family friendly.
I do mark that every time I upload an episode.
What they won't say, what was it? What they won't say,
we're not going to say that.
Dark.
What if someone takes our idea? Stop. Nope.
This is trademarked, by the way, just in case anyone was wondering. It's trademarked. We have attorneys. Don't fuck with us.
After dark.
After dark.
After dark. That was the idea.
Coming soon.
Which we will get to, but I got that from another podcast. So I just want to shout out H3.
Oh, great podcast.
You watch them?
They're the originals. They're the OGs.
So I watch Frenemies.
Yeah.
AB is the one who responded to my direct messages.
Yeah.
He responded to my direct messages and was like, oh, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And no qualms. He had no reservations about responding to my message, which I really appreciated.
Respect.
He put me on the H3 podcast to watch it.
Yeah.
And so I watch Frenemies religiously every Tuesday. No schedule. They're very unorganized.
And just out of giving respect where it's due, because I feel like that's what we're here to do. It's not just our podcast, and this is it. We've openly said, I personally love the I'm Athlete podcast with Brandon Marshall and Ocho
listen,
Cinco.
I don't care about your successes.
I hope everyone goes and watches them.
My success is not tied to somebody else's. If you want to listen to me and you're
going to do it.
That's what you're going to listen to. If you want to listen to H3, if you want to listen to I Am Athlete, that's what you're going to listen to.
There's enough people watching.
Right.
It's YouTube.
Right.
We're good.
Right. There's enough people.
I agree.
I know that's right.
Stop it.
This was the first time I said it during this entire episode. I just wanted to make a comment.
I felt it.
That I want you guys to all acknowledge. I said this once. Everyone.
We're graduating, people. We're graduating. Oh, no.
So I only said it once during this episode, and I just want to thank myself.
Merch coming soon. I want to thank myself.
You guys, my name is Mahdi.
And I'm Ramsey.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
What do you want to talk about? Tell us.
I know that's.
I'll say 1.5 on that.
This is what they won't say.